Afternoon guys, James here from Axopar London Group, down in Hythe today to check out a new listing to market. This is a 2017 Axopar 37 Suntop. Behind me here, this is Madness. She's with her second owner from new, always based in the UK here, and asking £159,000 tax paid. Really nice example, very high spec. Perfect for use here in the UK or further afield. Powered by a pair of the twin 2.6 litre supercharged 350 horsepower Mercury engines. So we're getting on for a top speed approaching 50 knots. Very economical. That real sharp point of entry twin stepped hull. This is obviously a Mark 1 boat with a custom in canvas enclosure around here, which gives usability all through the year. Makes the boat very practical for weekend use away on the water. Up in the bow here we've got a twin berth Cuddy cabin with a small heads compartment. So let's head on down and take a look. Finished in the standard white boat, grey antifoul underneath. Owner's got good service history. See that knife-like sharp point of entry, as is the standard on all Axopars. Makes a very soft riding boat, easy to drive for those of you that had ribs or smaller sports boats. Very easy to manoeuvre. She's specced out with a side power electric bow thruster and those twin engines giving effortless berthing control. Fits nicely on the back of a house mooring here in Hythe, but equally capable of dry stacking these and some of the larger dry stacks over in Trafalgar Wharf as an example. Replacement cost of this today with the new Mark II 37s would be around £250,000, so it's a great saving. Say £159,000 asking. Great opportunity, bound to be snapped up in no time at all. So we've got S-Tech decking throughout. This is also including the cockpit and down the side decks. As is fairly typical with boats this age, we've got a little bit of marking in the caulking there. Magic sponge tends to get most of that out. But on the whole, having had a good look round this morning, gel coat's very good. Typical end of season now, so I'm sure once it's all cleaned and polished in the spring, she comes back to A1 again. So this is a choice for a new owner, whether to take this on themselves or pay somebody appropriately to prep the boat ready for 21 season. So being a Suntop model, obviously we've got that big hard top frame around the top, and then the centre section itself is opening. And then this has had a custom designed canvas pack to make it very functional here for use in the UK. We've got a custom layout in the back here where you would want to just have an open cockpit. We've now got this lovely addition of the outdoor sort of food prep area. Got some nice acrylic cutouts there to take champagne bucket and some glasses. There's two refrigeration units in the seats, one under here and one over on the starboard side. And obviously with the canvas up like you see here today, you could instantly drop the two doorways down here, and then you've got a completely enclosed cockpit there to stay out of the worst of the weather. And then when the sun clears up, you've got two options, either just to roll the doors up as I've done here, and also that centre aft section, or the whole canvas is on a track around the top here. Takes probably 10 minutes I would say to take all of that out and stow it away, and then you've got the best of both worlds, a completely open boat with that sun top above you for protection. Up top we've got the central light post. There's a remote control Jabsco searchlight up there and a single VHF aerial. She's running a pair of twin 12-inch Garmin colour multifunction displays, and there's the option, if you wanted to, on that plate up there you could retrofit a GMR18 radar scanner if you so wished. And then stepping on board, if we start back in the aft quarters here, you'll notice she's got the stainless steel A-frame on top there for water toys. Handy little net that's obviously been added as an owner addition just to keep the general boating paraphernalia from disappearing out the back at speed. Also handy if you've got young kids, just to keep them safe. So we've got storage bins, you see here on the starboard side for a couple of fenders, and over on the port side here, this one also houses the emergency bilge pump in here, and then we've got an ensign staff down here. So this is an ensign staff socket, and then we've got a pull out whale twist deck shower. Being the open aft cockpit rather than the sunbed model, we've got these vast storage lockers in the floor. So let's just pop these up. So you appreciate how much space they let into the back of the boat here. So you've got plenty of room for things like paddle boards, blow up dinghy, small outboard, etc. if you're away on the water for a weekend. Battery store in the locker, centre line in the bilge here, and then these are handy access through to things like sea cocks for drains and part of the battery system. You'll notice the locks on the hatches here, so if you've got expensive paddle boards and what have you in there, you keep them away from prying eyes. Again, a handy net on the back here for storing bits behind, but we've got a couple of horseshoe life buoys. And you can see now above this food prep area comes sort of outdoor entertaining space. You could have a little portable barbecue, electric grill up the top here, removable. Nicely done. This is like an EVA foam decking finish that's been put on top of the wet bar area. And you see that canopy, how it stores up into that track there. Very easy to use. This aft section here, you can take a couple of clips on the back, and this actually lifts up about 45 degrees. Just gives you a little bit more headroom. Now down low, we've got the blue LED deck light package. They run all the way down the side decks, and as with all Axopars, very safe feeling. You see that height of the bulwark, very sturdy, lovely rails to grab hold of here, feels very secure for those less sturdy on their feet. Fusion AV pack, so we've got speakers here outside and also internally as well. LED nav lights up on the roof here, and then a step up forward takes us onto the bow area. So if we start up in the centre, we've got a stainless steel anchor linked up to a electric winch there with a weighted lead line rope. Handy obviously with a double access door there to get maximum accessibility. And then a centerline sunbed, so cushions are stowed away for the winter at the moment. There's a backrest fan that fits in here, and then you've got two cushions that sit up top. It's a good 6 foot long, so quite suitable for 2 or even 3 adults at a squeeze. This forward section here is actually an access hatch down into the cabin below, as well as an emergency escape. And then you've got a small window underneath that cover there. Big pantograph wiper here, nice big twin arm wiper that does the whole screen in one sweep. And then if we look up top, you can see the opening centre section. This is a winter storage cover on here, so just some poppers down the side. This comes off, and then the cover beneath is a concertina that stacks back as required to give you either an open or closed feel to the boat in use. Come back around, you can see things like fire extinguisher boxes here. And then into the cockpit itself. So we're split into 2 defined zones with the helm and navigation seats forward. And then aft we've got a nice 4 individual seats. They've all got, you see, armrests here, making them very comfortable. The back 4 seats are fixed, and then these helm seats can actually spin round 180 degrees to give you dining around this table when you're stationary. Again, finished off with a nice EVA foam deck there with a cut-in drinks holder. And if we open that up and stand back now, you can see how much space that has for entertaining. So 7 people around that table. You can have a person with the bum scoot on the side, either side, if you wanted a couple more. Very social boat. I say all totally enclosed when you wish underneath that canvas. Table is height adjustable there, so you can see various different options. Battery switches here underneath the port side aft seat. makes getting on board and powering the boat up very straightforward. And then we've got a run of storage underneath the back seats there for easy access to bits and pieces. Under the deck here we've got two big storage lockers, nice finished gel coat bins. You can see everything's nicely flow coated on the underside. If these have had a hard life, you can tell, often finding a few stress cracks on the gel coat, but I have to say this boat presents very nicely, so I think it's very much been loved and cherished by the two owners. Pull out storage refrigeration drawers here, so we've got two Dometic units running off the 12-volt system, one either side of the helm seats here. And then up above us you can see that centre opening roof system. It's the manual version. They did an option with electric as well, but this is just a clam lock design on here. So you just rotate the bar around about 90 degrees to remove the clams on either side, and then the whole thing stacks back. I say you can lock it off either open or closed, or if it's a calm day just leave it halfway. Now if I just spin the camera around to demonstrate the head height in here, get asked often what it's like underneath the roof here. Loads of space. If I stand up, so there you can see I've got a good sort of 12 inches above me, about 6 foot tall myself. Gives you plenty of space, very open feeling in here. And obviously having been acrylic clear windows throughout this canvas, you can appreciate we've got a real nice panoramic view. So even running this with the canvas up, it's a very open feeling cockpit area itself. It's been thoughtfully designed not to rub things like the windows on the armrests here. Very practical in its usage. So we head back out onto the deck and back into the forward seating area, where I say you now have 3 seats for the centre helm, 2 co-pilots, one either side. Currently configured in a stand-up bolster position, so these cushions obviously up to give you a bit more height at the helm. If you just imagine me sat now here at the helm, we're totally protected behind that big glass windscreen, great visibility for docking, coming alongside and what have you. Everything's very nicely to hand. So we've got obviously steering in front of us, we've got Mercury's DTS throttle and shift controls, so these are very easy for manoeuvring one finger in and out of gear. We can do both engines simultaneously on the lever here, or we've got independent trim controls on the top of the throttle box here. We can also run single lever, so we can fold this one out of the way and run both engines simultaneously on one lever, which is a nice feature, often extra on other competitors' engines. Then this is a joystick for the trim tab system, a joystick for the bow thruster, DSC Garmin VHF system there, so we've got an independent microphone and speaker, which is a nice touch when you're running at speed, and the winds obviously make it hard to hear from just the handset itself. Remote control for the bow thruster up there, which is a standard Axopar fit, and then 2 say colour 12-inch multifunction displays which give you navigation, engine instrumentation, depth, say, and the additional optional things like AIS and radar, which you could retrofit if you wished. A nice bank of LED switches here controlling things like the deck lights and the roof lights up above me. Upgrade, this is a 7-inch Mercury vessel view display which gives you readouts for the engine systems themselves, parameters, alarms, fuel consumption, that sort of thing. There's a 12-volt charging socket there, handy for doing your mobile phone and what have you. So lifting up the hatch here, it's got a nice stay on the ram there, gives it good security whilst it's open. There's a slide across door here, which obviously gives you a closure if you want to use this for staying on board. And this is the Cuddy cabin. So standard fit, there's nothing too fancy in here, it's just a good, practical, usable space. Head height obviously reduces as you step forward, so you've got a centre line double V berth there up forward, say little window at the front. We've got LED lighting running strips down underneath, and you'll see various vents here. We've got another one down here. Bow thruster isolator switch there. So there's a nice little seat for getting dressed. Everything's very compact but functional. So there's a basic wardrobe in there. This is the back of the electronics, which obviously is all neat and tidy in there, covering most of the systems going into the dash and then the NMEA 2000 system. Then we've got a fixed bonded window built into the hull here, and then as well as the little opening port light for ventilation, and this big skylight up above us. Asked about head height in here, so if I sit on this little seat, you can see I've still got plenty of space above me here, and in the bed itself forward there's enough room to sit up in there to read a book. Generally, although I would keep my head this end and feet that end, just somewhere literally to crash out in the evenings if you want to weekend away on the boat. Some storage to keep basic cooking appliances. So we've got the freshwater cold wash sink there, and there's space on the top if you want to have one of those little single gas cartridge gas cookers, easy to run on there to make a cup of tea in the mornings. You can see obviously the owner running a dehumidifier in here just to keep the damp out through the winter months. We're on UK 3-pin sockets up top there, easy enough to swap out the centres for EU 2-pin sockets if you were planning to use the boat overseas. And then hidden underneath here we've got the electric head, so an upgrade from the manual flush toilet. There's a black water tank as well for that, which means the boat's suitable for inland waters use as well. And this is a little switch panel for the main circuit breakers on board. So everything very well thought out. You can see from the camera view here that it's all very neat and tidy. There we have it. So I say with current restrictions here in the UK, physical viewings are somewhat restricted, so very happy to undertake video viewings for any prospective purchasers that would like to know more about this particular boat. Obviously we're still able to get out and about, and we are able to undertake surveys, sea trials, etc. as part of commercial activities. So say rare to see one of these on the market. It's currently the only 37 Suntop for sale here in the UK, and it's a great opportunity. So if you'd like to start making your plans for the 21 season, it's not that long till Easter, and hopefully the sun shines here and start using the boats with much more regularity. So if you'd like to know any more, please get in touch. It's james@axoparlondongroup.com, or my mobile as always is +44 7747 686 587. Drop me a message and I can talk you through this one. I've got a lot more photos, service history, copies of title documents, etc. And we can very much engineer a sale in a remote way and have the boat either delivered to you off overseas, or even somewhere here in the UK if you're planning to use her more local to where we are based now. So she's in Hythe Marina, which is just at the top of Southampton Water. Access 24 hours in terms of there's a lock access out to open sea, and no problem at all to arrange onwards delivery to help you as you so wish. Hope you enjoyed the tour today. It's a great opportunity to see one of these in the flesh, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.